let's be honest, solo queue in any team-based game can be a nightmare, and Marvel Rivals, yeah, that's no difference. Which is why today I'm going to be going over what I like to call the Marvel Rivals Solo Survival Guide, or something like that. So, jumping straight into tip number 1, turn off voice chat. And I know many of you are getting ready to hop into the comments and talk about how communication is key and teamwork makes the dream work. But I'm sure I speak for many when I say the real dream of solo queue is not hearing somebody's busted mic scream in your ear while they completely ignore the objective. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you can find some good teammates out there who can effectively communicate, but the odds of finding those teammates are pretty rare. So just save yourself the headache, mute it, lock in. Also, since Rivals has a pretty great ping and quick comms wheel system, you can still communicate with your team without hearing all of the And on the topic of that lovely comms wheel, tip number 2. Adjust your comms wheel. Now, many players that are just starting out are likely running the default setup for your comms wheel, but there are a few quality of life changes that you can actually make that will not only help you, but can also help the rest of your team, assuming that they actually pay attention. Now, by default, your comms wheel should come with 4 options: attack here, ultimate status, retreat, and every strategist's favorite, need healing.
Heal me, you simpletons.
Now, these aren't bad, but there are a few swaps to make them just a bit better. Firstly, I'd recommend you change attack here to group up. Since your basic ping already marks enemies and objectives, having attack here on your comms wheel is kinda wasting space, to be honest. Group up, on the other hand, is a great way so that you can call out either Vanguard or DPS when they decide to go solo charging an enemy team, and you can kind of let them know that they're flying solo. The second swap I'd recommend making is replacing need healing with status. Now, need healing is kind of vague, to be honest, and often it gets annoying if spammed. Status, on the other hand, actually shows your actual health percentage, which not only can help your strategists know the difference between, hey, I need a quick top up, and I'm literally one tap, please help me.
Help me! Help me!
But it can also be a good indicator for your team too, so that way they can tell that, hey, their Vanguard that's solo at 6% health might need some help. Finally, the last swap I'd suggest you make, and this is kind of personal preference, but you could swap retreat for thank you. Now, personally, I do this just to show some love to my strategist for keeping me alive, or anytime a teammate makes a great swap to activate a team up. I know it's a small thing, but a little positivity never hurts. Also, speaking of personal choices, tip number 3. Accept that you are not the main character. I know this is probably going to be the toughest pill to swallow amongst not only Marvel Rivals, but just in gaming in general. But at the end of the day, Rivals is a team-based game, meaning it takes 6 people working together to get that win, not just 6 individuals trying to go 1v6 an enemy team. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's how Thanos won. Anyways, instead of going into every match trying to 1v6 and also coach and also call all the shots, maybe just try playing as an actual team, like a unit. Because I've honestly lost count of the number of games where someone jumps in, starts barking orders like their last name is Fury, and a few minutes later, the whole team is tilted and engaging in scattered 1v6 fights. So just whatever you do, don't be the person that causes your team to tilt. Just vibe, play your part, and remember that everyone has a role to play in getting the win. Tip number 4, and this one's a big one. Learn at least one character in each role. Now, I'm not saying you need to go become an expert Vanguard and the top 1% of all strategists out there, but having at least enough basic knowledge and skill to be able to flex between roles can be a huge advantage for both you and your team. Whether it's because your role is already taken, or your main just isn't working against the enemy team comp, or you unfortunately play one of the characters that is currently sitting on Mount Banmore, knowing how to swap roles can be a big difference between winning and hearing.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Plus, learning a different role from your main is also a pretty good way to learn how to set up counters once you're back on DPS. And finally, tip number 5. For the love of Odinson, remember to have fun. At the end of the day, Marvel Rivals is just a game. That's it. Now, whether you're climbing the comp ladder or just hopping on for some quick matches, I completely understand that it can be pretty easy to get tilted in games. But I also understand that getting tilted at every match is not gonna change that losing streak around, unless you go on such a losing streak that you eventually get thrown into bot matches. But that's another conversation. Anyways, at the end of the day, your mental health matters way more than your match history. So if you notice that solo queue is starting to turn into solo hell, remember to take a step back, take a break, go touch some grass maybe, or go hop into some practice Doom match. It's often kind of funny and very chill in there. It's basically as close to kind of like a hub that Marvel Rivals has. Pretty fun times in there. Go check it out. And also, if you're having good matches, you're going on winning streaks, spread the positive vibes. Drop a GG's in chat. Use the comm wheel to say thanks. Or join your team in a group emote sesh.
I am ready to put on a show.
Judge, jury.
Because at the end of the day, positivity always travels faster than damage buffs. Now, if you found any of these quick tips helpful, or if you've got a few solo survival tips of your own, use the button and box below and let me know. And with that, I will catch y'all on Krakoa.